Hi guys, so this is part 2 of the Martine Jumpsuit tutorial. This is just showing you how to sew everything together. I won't go into too much detail with the marigold trousers because you should be sewing those exactly like it says in the instructions. Okay, so the pants we're keeping exactly the same as these ones. But I will be showing you how to get the top together and get that attached to the waistband. Once it's attached to the waistband, it actually then follows the marigold jumpsuit instructions again. Okay, so let's get going. Needing to get around 2.5 meters of a drapey fabric, I've used a viscose matching thread, 2 centimeter wide elastic are at the same length as your waist, and you can use a sew-on press stud to help close the front if you want to. So what I've done now is pre-made the facing. You've got the front facing pieces here and the back piece across the top. I've chosen to interface this one, though you can absolutely do it without interfacing. I've done it both ways. You'll find if you do it without the interfacing, it's a little bit drapier in terms of the opening, and with the interfacing it's a little bit stiffer. So it very much depends on what kind of look you want to have with that. And what I also have here is the bodice, which has been sewn up along the shoulder seams and on the side seams as well, on both sides. There you can see the underarm curves on both sides, and you can kind of get an idea of how that wrap's going to fall as well. So you can see where I've finished off the edges on the inside. I've overlocked those too. This viscose frays a little bit, so definitely good to finish off those edges as you go. So here you can see how that wrap would fall. You can see where it goes over each other, and if you match up the notches at the bottom there, gives you an idea of, say, how deep the neckline is going to look and how that's going to fall. So now what I'm going to do is grab our facing, and I'm going to show you how to get that attached onto the bodice and where to line that up to. So you're going to flip it around and pin that, place it over your bodice there, and you're going to start pinning that in place. I'm going to grab a few pins over here and get that in place. You want to match up the shoulder seams, so you know that things are the right length. Remember the bodice piece itself, that's like basically a bias cut, so it will move out of shape a little bit, so it's important to kind of match up those shoulder seams to make sure that things are staying at the correct length there. So just going to pin that all the way around. It's nice to do that on a flat surface like that, and that way you know that there's no kind of puckers or anything underneath, and you get things matching up really nicely. And I'm just going to speed through pinning the rest of that now. And we're all done pinning that together now. I'm going to just flip that around and show you kind of how that should look now that that's together. So the black line, that's the interface side of the facing. That's there. So that's all done. Just need to sew it together now. So this is everything all sewn together. So I've sewn at 1.5 centimeters all the way around the neckline. I've trimmed the seam allowance back, pressed it towards the facing, and understitched that all the way around as well. I love understitching things. It just really helps to get things folding properly, so you don't see the wrong side kind of peeking through too much. And I've pressed that all the way around and finished off the edges too. I'm just going to arrange things so you can see how things should be matching up. Here's when you use those notches at the bottom of the bodice where the center front is, and kind of just inside of that 12 centimeter mark. so that you can see kind of where everything is. And it's important to pin these bits into place because this is how it's going to kind of finally end up, and this is what you'll now be sewing on to the waistband of the marigold jumpsuit trousers. So I'm just going to carry on pinning that in place, a couple of pins on each side, just make sure that the facing is kind of lining up properly as well, because that tends to kind of wiggle around the place if you're not careful. Get these pins, and I'll straighten everything up here. And make sure that's all matching up properly. We'll tidy that up. Let's get that sleeve out as well. So that's giving you a good idea of what that should look like. That facing, you can always kind of hand stitch down or just really press well, or even just kind of do a top stitch over that to hold it down. The sleeves still need to be hemmed on both sides, or you put the cuffs on if you want to, but at this stage all you'll be doing, that bodice is finished. Now you'll be attaching the bottom of that bodice on here onto the waistband of the marigold jumpsuit, and basically carry on with the instructions exactly as the marigold says to. Just ignore everything it says about a zip basically, but that's it. It's not too difficult at all. So this is the finished product, my Martine jumpsuit in all its glory. It's really comfortable. I've actually made this for a bridesmaid's outfit for one of my friends' weddings. So there are 4 of these out in the world. It's got pockets. It's so comfortable. I've put a little catch on the front just to make sure I didn't expose myself during the wedding. Don't want any accidents, but it's great for moving in. It's really good for dancing around in as well. We had the best time in these. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy making your own Martine jumpsuits. Let me know if you try making it yourself. I'd love to see how yours turned out. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date with all my latest videos. Until next time, guys. Bye.